Hope you're having a good day. I am sorry I'm a bit late. I had to restart my internet. I think the storm is causing some problems. Okay, I can see some people in the chat, which is wonderful. Let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. Just give me a thumbs up. That would be great. Ah, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you, Chris C. Thank you. Where am I? So here we are. It's WTF Thursday. Well. So here we are. It's hang on. WTF Thursday. Sorry. I was listening to some stuff earlier, not for pleasure, studying stuff. You should see the state of my desk. It's an absolute mess. Papers everywhere that I'm trying to get into. So, right, let me just say hello to whoever's in the chat to start with, because have I got some stuff for you guys. Pete, hello, my love. Yes, it is dark in here. Hi, Chris C. Hi, Diz. Lovely to see you. Okay, so we've got what's beyond Fucht? The US, yeah, it is a bit. You've got clear skies in central Scotland. That's wonderful. Here, it was raining this morning. Then it cleared up a bit, so I went for my run. And while I was out, the sun came out, and we had sun all afternoon, which was wonderful. So, I couldn't load up all of the stuff that I wanted to talk about because I was sort of loading it and it just went. So if the video starts to buffer tonight, I'm just going to stop the live stream. So, yeah, because like I say, my router had to reboot it. It seems to be working now. The Wi-Fi seemed to be the problem because my PC is directly linked to the actual internet cable, whereas my laptop and my phone are on, well, my phone's on mobile data at the moment. I've turned off Wi-Fi because otherwise it'll go, and my laptop is on the Wi-Fi. So, problems. Oh, and that's buffering. Okay. Looks like it's caught up. So guys, like I say, if I do start to buffer, I will end the feed. Hi Elle, lovely to see you. Hi Mithril, great to see you. Chrissy, currently using your PC, which is a wired connection straight to the router. Yeah, my PC is directly to the router, but that is now buffering. But then again, my PC is very old, so it's funny, the picture's buffering, but the actual feed is coming up. Better sound here than in the bin. It's really quiet today there. Oh dear, that's not good. Hi Lana, lovely to see you. How is everything down in New Zealand? So, before I came on, let me just see if I can get this bloody stuff. Oh, that's what's done. Sorry, guys. Okay. I think I've got it right now. Okay. So before I came on, I was in my bedroom doing my hair and stuff after I'd rebooted. And in my feed, now, when I've got my glasses off and I'm doing my makeup, obviously I can't see. So this video comes up about Froggage being on strike. And there were two that came up. I think it was Bonafide that came up first. So I watched that because he's pretty good. Or was it Political Custard? It was one or the other. I think it was Bonafide. And the next one that came up was a channel called Britain Now. I couldn't see the name of it because I can't see without my glasses on. And so I just, I pressed play. Well, all the fash are having a right paddy over the fact that Froggage doesn't get questions at PMQs. and Froggage went on strike and went and sat up in the gallery. I didn't watch PMQs yesterday because I was having a day off of stuff, but I just thought it was so funny. Hi, Alistair M. Lovely to see you. Are you all over on the Bin podcast? Technical issues are happening. Yeah, they are. I think it's the storm. I think that's one of the main things, the storm. But also, well, the story that I have got for you, the big story that I want to talk about in a minute, we'll chat about it in a minute. But what do you guys think about Outside Where He Belongs? Absolutely, Elle. What do you guys think about Froggage throwing his toys out of the pram and going to sit up in Doohickey in the gallery because he can't get a question because everybody's picking on him? Oh, poor Nige. Poor little Nigel. Yeah, Chrissy, that's not how PMQs works. Yeah, well, after I'd finished my makeup and put my glasses back on, I went and told them exactly how because the guy who was doing the chatting, go have a look at Britain Now. You should find that there afterwards. And he was just like saying, oh, but you know, they're surging in the polls and this, that, and the next. Doesn't matter. Like Chris has just said, it's who has the most seats gets the most questions. So the official opposition always gets 6 questions. The second opposition, normally the Lib Dems, gets 2 questions. SNP used to get 2. I don't even know if they still do, but everybody else gets 1 if they get chosen. And the amount of members you have in your party dictates the questions. The questions are done on a, pulled out of a hat, basically. People don't, specifically get asked that, you've got a question. So that's how Parliament works. But this guy, it's not his real voice. He's got some sort of voiceover thing going. Sounds really bad. But anyway, with a sort of fake American accent sort of crossed with some other type of accent, possibly a bit like Andrew Taint. But anyway, just saying, oh, but it's unfair. And what do you think? Do you think it should change? And my point is, he's on strike from PMQs. So what do his constituents think in Clacton? Are they happy that he's striking? Is he still getting paid? Hi, Kirsty, lovely to see you. Hi, Validate, wonderful for you to be here. Oh, you sat together. Oh, thank you for being there and both watching at the same. It just boosts the numbers, and I really, really, really do appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. No, the SNP used to get 2 because they had the 3rd biggest seat share. They no longer the 3rd biggest. Okay, yeah. Frogface is all over media all the time. He can F off. Completely agree with you, Diz. I do completely agree with you. But he was having a right paddy on GB News and basically going, it's not fair. I'm going to take my ball home. It's not my ball. I'm not playing anymore. Just absolutely pathetic. He's moaning because he doesn't get a chance to answer questions, to have a go back at what people are saying to him. He's not there to answer questions. He's there to ask questions. So, and if it upsets his little ego that much, then what is he doing as an MP? But yeah, so many people think he's going to be the next PM. I don't think so at all. On his party's propaganda channel, Diz. Yeah, absolutely. Green with envy, L. Because that's other good news today. Green Party have surged up to 140,000 members, which is brilliant. Those of you who don't know, yes, I used to support Labour. I was very staunch Labour, but Labour have done things that I don't agree with, and I am very staunch about my beliefs when it comes to how people are treated, how the disabled are treated, how trans people are treated, and so on, how women are treated. And so I left Labour because they were not looking after me anymore, looking after the things that I care about. And so I joined the Green Party, and I did vote for Zach Polanski to be the leader, and I'm so glad that he is the leader. He might not be everybody's cup of tea. That's fine. And people might say to me, well, why did you change, if you're a Labour supporter? Because I can. Because that is my right, and I'm a critical thinker. And if I think that my party is not working for me anymore, why should I pay them subs every month? Why? Why should I bother? I should rather stay with a party who is standing up for what I believe in. Thank you, Alistair M. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in a bit as well. So, yeah, I just think Mithril, what he means is he doesn't get the chance to drip his poison into the ear of the British people. Yeah, that's true. But the media will pick him up and they'll all have something to say about it, and it'll be all over the news. But the one thing that I do like is that Zach Polanski is actually getting onto a lot of the TV. I think he was on, was it Question Time or Newsnight last night? I didn't watch it, but I saw some of the interview. He was being interviewed by Andrew Marr, and as he was saying stuff, Andrew Marr got a message in his ear, apparently, that no, there was no time left and he had to cut him off. So, yeah. Yeah, Chrissy, he does do that via the media. He does do that via the media. He knows how to play the media. That is the problem. And he's not afraid to speak his mind. Whereas Starmer is a little bit too straight-laced. He's lacking a charisma. I'm not saying that Froggage has charisma, because I don't think it is charisma. I just think it's hate. And he appeals to those people who are, of that ilk. There was something else today as well. I think it was Mike Graham, wasn't it, who was having a moan about something, some comment that he put up. Phil did a video, and I think that Max did a video about it as well. And I just went and commented, like, it's complete racist bait. That's it. That's all he's doing, is trying to bait the racists. Yeah, they are really good at social media, Diz. That's well, they've got the Russians in their pocket, or the Russians have got them in their pocket, should I say. So there's a lot of money going into it, because if Froggage does get into power, well, then Putin has this, or Putin, however you want to pronounce it, has this doorway into, this country. We already know there's a lot of money laundering that goes off here. So, yeah, that is to do with foreigners and so on. If you are watching, guys, please hit the like button. Just a bit of stuff before we carry on. Please feel free to comment. I've got a couple of mods in who are absolutely fantastic, and if you are a bigot or a racist or are sexist or transphobic or homophobic, or you are just rude, they will boot you. So yeah, I'm just gonna, if you've got a question to ask that differs with my opinion, ask the question, but in a polite way. That would be really, really helpful. I'm not here to suffer trolls. I really don't have time for that in my life. I've got far too many other things going on. Kirsty, the sausage fingers comment you put up in the 2 Davies, was that towards Tommy Tosspot? I thought sausage fingers was King Charles. Starmer is going to upset one angry pagan, as it is being reported he's about to rip up the carbon targets. Wow. Yes, Pete, he is on Reagan's channel later. I'm going to give that a watch, I think. But yeah, that's a bit annoying. I was actually having a bit of a debate, you could say, with a friend of mine. I've now unfriended them on FaceCrack. But they'd put up, apparently on sandwiches now you get a carbon footprint counter. And they were saying, oh, but this means we're only going to be able to use this amount of carbon a day. I'm like, no, it's showing you the carbon that is used to make up that one sandwich. And it's probably guiding us to say, lower your carbon. Now, I agree that all of us on here more than likely do the best we can when it comes to our recycling, our carbon, our, energy consumption and so on. I'm pretty sure that we're all very aware of the climate crisis. And the people that need to actually be, taxed for that are the wealthy. Those with planes, those with boats, those with, those that are sending rockets up for no reason, that are causing climate crisis. So I said, that's what it's for. And then I got, no, it's not. And then somebody else commented, read what it says. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go into the conspiracy theory lobby. She posted a paper, like, okay, which the paper was about Coca-Cola and what they're doing now for their, recycling and so on. In my opinion, Coca-Cola should go back to glass bottles, because glass can be recycled really easily, and any glass that is broken goes into the furnace and is melted down again. The reason I know this is because my dad used to work in a glass factory. He was a manager and he worked there all his life, and that's what he did, was he made bottles. So that is how, and I worked there for a month as well during Christmas. After my final year of school had finished, because in South Africa, the school year starts in January and runs till December, because December is summer, so your summer holidays. I worked there over December before I went and got a proper job, just as a relief worker for the receptionist. But so that is, how glass is made. And to me, that seems like a much better way of recycling than plastic. Let's have a look. King Charles having a meeting with the Pope was in relation to all the Catholic religions, Catholic and Protestant. Yeah. I heard he made some sort of gaffe. I'm not sure what that was. Labour ministers have confirmed plans to reduce London's affordable housing quotas. Yeah, you see, they are just failing. All their manifesto promises are just failing. They will never go after the wealthiest. No, they won't. But Polanski is talking about it constantly. So, I recycle my tobacco. Rough isn't even the beginning of it. Oh, dear. Yeah, I can imagine, Mithril. I can imagine. Hi, Alistair M. Good to see you again. I was on Politics Social Bingcast. On Politics. I didn't know Politics Social was live now. Poop. Sorry, I didn't know. Please tell Graham I'm sorry. I didn't know he was live. I thought he goes live later. Glass can be recycled indefinitely, as where plastic can only be recycled a few times. Exactly, and then plastic becomes plastic bags. That's the sort of end of the cycle. But yeah, glass can be recycled numerous times over and over again, because glass is part of the bottle making process. They had a massive pile of glass. And basically, like with the molds, when the gobs would come down and into the molds on the belt, if the molds weren't right and there were problems with the glass, that glass would just go and be recycled again. So it wasn't going to waste. It was obviously slowing down on production, but it wasn't going to waste. The only thing that they had there in the, I never went into the furnace room because it was quite warm. They used to get a lot of snakes in there because of the warmth. Hi, Joe, lovely to see you. Hello, Scott, lovely to see you. You've had dinner, Joe, and now feeling fat and eating your coconut mochi. What would my barbarian ancestors think of me? I'm sure they would think you are very lucky to be eating decent food. Right, let's have a look. As tin cans, yes, they can also be recycled. Although I try not to buy drinks in tin cans because I can taste the tin. Yeah, that's weird. It's like putting water in the kettle. I can't reboil it. I have to just put enough in for 1 cup, because if it's reboiled, it gets a funny taste. And then if you add water and boil it, it goes funny. So what I have started doing, though, to save a bit of money on my bills, is I've got 2 of those big old-fashioned flasks that you used to get, you know, the ones with the big sort of thing and the handle and the 2 cups and what have you. So I've started, when I boil the kettle in the morning, boil a full kettle and then pour it into the flask, and it stays hot all day. It stays boiling hot all day. In fact, the first time I tested it out, the next morning it was still warm. Mod staffing all the streams. He's brilliant, you know. He's such an amazing person. I just think he's absolutely, I'm saying he, they, them, he, she, you know, however they identify. If hot air was recyclable, Westminster would have a plant. Absolutely, definitely they would. Mithril, I did hear a good news story from Japan. They've created a plastic that when it goes into the ocean, the polymer chains break down completely. No microplastics. That's brilliant. Hot air can be reclaimed and reused to heat buildings. Maybe Westminster should adopt that heating method. Absolutely. Almost female in his multitasking, Diz. They've got a robot barrister at Strathclyde Uni in Glasgow. A robot barrister. You know, that's something like robots. They are taking away people's jobs. And that sort of saddens me a bit. It's like, where are we going to be? Moose could heat up an entire county. Yes, they could. Most definitely. They used to get really hot, didn't they? And those old amps, the ones with the cylinders. I'm sure you know which ones I mean, Zhao. It'll happen, Mithril, surely. Just got to get past the corporations. Exactly. So, the main story that I have for you guys is all about 31 Atlas. The comet, or is it aliens, that is heading towards us. So I found a whole load of articles. The one article that I did want to read out wouldn't let me download it. I saw it last night, and then this morning it's not let me having a look at it. So this is from 2 days ago. It's from US Science. ESA insider shocks space community. 31 Atlas, not a comet, but a stable engine-powered object leak suggests. Okay, so this is just conjecture, but this object is not acting like a normal comet. Now, there's other articles on it here that have come up as well. What we've got here, the headlines. Scientists baffled as interstellar object 31 Atlas flips its tail, alien technology or cosmic coincidence. NASA's training exercise over 31 Atlas sparks fear of hidden interstellar threat. NASA baffled by strange object near the sun. Shocking new photo of Comet 31 Atlas sparks alien theories. The truth leaks out. CME heading toward interstellar comet. 31 Atlas sparks fears of space disaster. And so it goes on. Now, last night, I watched a movie. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Osiris. If you get a chance, go watch it. It's actually really good. Linda Hamilton is in it. I love Linda Hamilton. Always have done. She's one of my role models from, you know, when she was in T2. That was like one of my favourite movies of all time. And I just loved her muscles. You know, when she was doing the pull-ups on the bed that she tipped on its side and everything. I just thought she was amazing. And so she's in it. It's a really, really good film. And it is about aliens. And it sort of You know, like, is it or isn't it? There's a lot of speculation about this thing. Is it coming here to, you know, is it aliens? Is it going to be threatening? Is it a response to what we sent out back in the 60s? Was it the 60s or the 70s when we sent out the thing that was singing the songs and had all the symbols on it and everything as to, you know, who we are, what we look like, and, you know, the mathematical equations and so on and so on. Is it a response to that? Or is it just a comet? Or is it heading to Earth to wipe us all out? But apparently we should know on the 29th of October. So I'm going to read this article. Let's see what it says. The mystery surrounding the interstellar object 31 Atlas has deepened dramatically following bombshell claims from a person alleging to be a space debris engineer at the European Space Agency. As the Manhattan-sized visitor continues its journey through our solar system, baffling scientists like Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb with its strange metallic emissions and improbable trajectory, this purported insider stepped forward on social media late on Tuesday, October the 21st, to claim a massive cover-up is underway between the ESA and NASA. Would we be surprised? You know, something like this could cause worldwide panic, couldn't it? In a detailed post that has since gone viral, the alleged whistleblower warns that the object is emitting a constant engine-like sound and that top-secret data is being deliberately hidden from the public and even from fellow space agency analysis. Their chilling conclusion, something big is about to happen. A constant engine-like sound, the shocking new claims about 31 Atlas. The core of the whistleblower's claim centers on a discovery made by the Fermi Gamma Ray Space Telescope, GST. They allege that the telescope detected a highly unusual signature coming from 31 Atlas. In mid-September, Fermi GST has detected a stable signature on the object which is not attributable to any other space source, the post reads. In other words, the object emits constant engine-like sound. I thought there was no sound in space. I thought you couldn't hear anything in space. So how do they read that? They must have some sort of technology that they use to read that. Okay. Next paragraph. This technical description suggests the signal is not a natural phenomenon like the radio waves emitted by a pulsar, but something artificial and constant. According to the source, this incredible finding was not shared or analysed with the ESA. Instead, it was immediately handed over to their American counterparts under a new veil of secrecy. The data was immediately submitted to NASA according to fresh secrecy procedure, meaning there's not a trace of it at ESA anymore, they wrote. The source also claims that this information blackout coincides with a significant spike in UAP's observations all over the planet, with more incoming. All I can think of is that guy with the big telescope in Independence Day, where he wants to name it Dottie after his wife. I don't know if any of you watched that movie. I absolutely loved another movie that I absolutely loved. That and Armageddon. That 90s for movies was brilliant. We'll have a look at some comments here. I can see some comments. Bear with me, guys. Hey, Billy, lovely to see you. My friend at uni was an audiophile studying acoustics. He has a valve amp. That's it, the valve amp. The valve amp, that's what I'm talking about. Why would aliens want to visit Earth at the moment with the idiots in charge? Well, maybe they're a bit more intelligent and will tell us how to get rid of them. You know, no fate. That's it, no fate, but what we make. Why is that showing up now? Blooming neck, sorry. If aliens are coming to Earth, there's nothing we can do, so why worry? But honestly, I think it's not a real thing. We'll find out next week. You know, that's it really. I'll be the 29th. That's is that Wednesday next week? Yeah, it's Wednesday. I've got a tutorial on Wednesday next week, so that'll be interesting. That'll be very interesting. Pete's, I use a controller board with Moog software emulator, does a fairly close job. I think that was just Close Encounters. The Earth is literally made in the middle of a Pacific Ocean in space. Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, you know, it's huge and it's expanding. You know, space is constantly expanding, isn't it? But do you guys believe in aliens? I do. And the reason I do, I remember way back when, in South Africa, I must have been about 13, 14, and we were having a barbecue at a friend's house, family friend's house, and me and the other kids were in the back garden and we were looking at the sky because there wasn't a lot of street light at the time, so we were living in a sort of new area. Most of the houses hadn't been built yet, and we actually saw, and it wasn't a comet and it wasn't a shooting star, it was going slowly, 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 then all of a sudden it zoomed off. Back then there were very few satellites and the ISS didn't exist back then. I'm talking about the 80s. So, yeah. And I've also, what was his name? Whitley Strieber. I've read his books as well, Communion. Also very, very interesting. Have I ever met an alien? No, not as far as I know. Although some of the men that I've met could have been classed as alien. Some of the women too, actually. But yeah, it would be interesting. It would be very interesting if we could meet somebody from another planet in another solar system, far, far away, you know, just to converse. I remember a Private Eye cartoon in Trump's first term. It showed two aliens landing in DC and saying, "Take me to your, oh, never mind." Yeah. Haven't the Simpsons done that as well? Something similar. Imagine Trump talking with the aliens. Even the aliens would need a translator to translate what Trump was saying to English before translating it to their speech. Absolutely. Chris C., if I remember rightly, they said this about the interstellar asteroid Oumuamua when it came through solar system in 2017. Could be. Could be. Sorry, guys, this keeps jumping around as usual. In space, sound is heard has vibration, okay? Trump would be unable to keep his mouth shut about this. Maybe they haven't even told Trump, you know? Maybe they haven't even told him. And a tinfoil hat on. Maybe I'll make myself a tinfoil hat. Yeah, that's a good idea. Space actually has a smell to it. That's interesting. That's interesting. I've been following this for weeks. It's pretty odd, that's for sure. Pete, I've also been looking into it. Not massively, but I've sort of had a look on a daily basis as to what's going on. And you know, with the algorithms, once you start looking at one thing, it flags stuff up for you, doesn't it? In space, no one can hear you scream. Loki is whispering me ironic tonight. Is this the techie conspiracy bros version of the rapture? Possibly, possibly. I believe that there is other life in the universe, whether that be microbial or intelligent. Yeah, absolutely. I believe in extraterrestrial life. How far that goes, I don't think about. Yeah. Look, folks, I have seen things in the sky that I could not explain, even some kind of cloak sphere that flew over my car for about 20 kilometers in the Grandola Highlands here. So there are things, yeah, cannot explain. Yeah, I've seen They Live, convinced me. I was an avid X-Files watcher. I used to love the X-Files. It was one of my favorite shows. This was some 10 years ago and I was driving, so no alcohol or happy mushrooms. The universe is over 13 billion years old, so the possibility of other life out there is quite high. I'm a believer for sure. I believe in what I can see and perceive, so I'm open to it. The YouTube channel Astrum has been doing great work on AT30. I shall go and have a look at that. I think it would be really exciting, and I think it would change, you know, if we did have something like that, let's hope that they would be friendly and hopefully offer us a better way to live. But I can imagine the fash and the racists will go, "Ugh, invasion, invasion. They're coming through our borders." Astronauts have reported a smell like a metallic welding fume mixed with the smell of burnt meat and gunpowder. That actually makes sense, Chris, because of the Big Bang Theory and all of the residual like gunpowder smell. I would imagine. I don't know if any of you have ever fired a gun before, but there is that smell after you've. It's a bit like fireworks. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Chrissy, it's Surta in Musfaceham, Mushpelsheim. Is that one of the realms of the tree? Or am I completely confusing it with something else? So back to the story. The whistleblower, who identifies as a mid-tier space debris engineer analyst, claims that a wall of secrecy has been erected around the object, specifically cutting European scientists off from their usual American collaborators. I'm an SDA in ESA. Usually we work in teams built around given objects or project with Americans. Now we're being completely cut off and kept in the dark, they stated. They alleged that in August, ESA employees were made to sign new high secrecy level confidentiality agreements concerning information leaks and data sharing, a move they found highly unusual. While the source has remained anonymous, citing fears of professional reprisal, their detailed knowledge of internal ESA procedures has lent a degree of credibility to the claims among online communities dissecting the leak. I'm pretty sure that if you work for NASA or any space agency like that, you have to sign a non-disclosure agreement anyway. I mean, I've had to sign them working for, working in different companies that I've worked in my life. In the Fireland, yes. Okay, here come the men in black. Yeah. I'm a lifelong Fortean and tend to try and keep an open mind. Para to normal. Lovely for you to join. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I believe in ghosts. I believe in all sorts of paranormal phenomena. But also on a level of, for example, possession, possibly being misconstrued as somebody having an epileptic fit or something like that. Could it happen? Possibly. There's no evidence to say not. There's no evidence to say yes. So, but I have seen ghosts. I definitely have. Once when I was a kid, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I was laying facing my bedroom door and there were two figures, a man and a woman, on the bedroom door looking at me, like just white shapes, and hid under the covers, and I stayed under there for I don't know how long, but then there was a depression on the bed, it went down at the side of me, and I'm like, stop breathing, I'm trying not to breathe. I was so scared. So yeah, I do believe in ghosts. I really do. I've played spirit board. I have had spirits come through, never anything bad, but the glass has moved and messages have been given and those messages were accurate. So, was somebody moving it? No, definitely not. Definitely not. You could, I've been doing spirit board and where people have moved it, but, and you feel a difference. But, yeah, I do believe. This claim aligns with existing frustrations over NASA's failure to release high-resolution images of 31 Atlas captured by the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter, fueling speculation that a coordinated effort is underway to conceal the object's true nature. You will see it all, a chilling prediction about 31 Atlas. The source insists their motivations are purely to inform the public. I'm not LARPing. I'm not a whistleblower dying of cancer. I just feel people need to know something big is about to happen. They wrote, acknowledging they have been monitoring discussions on platforms like 4chan, Reddit and YouTube to see how the story develops. While the post's authenticity remains unverified, some online sleuths have attempted to validate it. One user claimed that running the post's accompanying image, which reportedly showed an internal ESA data chart through an AI tool, suggested it was authentic and unaltered. For now, the alleged ESA insider has stated they will not answer questions but will monitor the online discussion. They ended their post with a stark and ominous prediction for the near future, leaving the world to watch the skies with a mix of anticipation and dread. In December, many home-based observators will see it all. Okay, so it's December, not... I saw something about next week, October the 29th, on one of these things. Anyway, oh, there we go. Arrival on October the 29th. This is from yesterday. Panic or prophecy, 2 moons, continuous UFO sightings and 31 Atlas fuel fears of alien arrival on October the 29th. I just think about all the alien movies that we've seen, you know, and that we, you know, I do love sci-fi movies as well as horror movies. I think they're both very similar, but Signs was a brilliant one. But why do we always make the aliens evil? Why are they always coming here to steal stuff from us? Is that just sort of, you know, human projection because it's what we do? It's like when it often happens in conversations where men say, oh, but if women were at war, you'd do the same. No, we wouldn't. We're not men. We wouldn't do the same. We don't react the same way that men do to certain things. Hi, Lost Missionary. Lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining. I'm going to have a sip of water. I'm going to come and read some comments on my laptop because I can see them better here. Well, no, I can't. Well, yeah, Scott, I've just seen Unexplained Physics. Quantum physics is, you know, there's so much about it that we don't understand. And I do believe that a lot of what I believe, my spiritual side of things, will be explained by quantum physics at some stage in the future. I was watching a video the other day, a friend sent it to me and we were having a laugh. It was some people who apparently speak in this starseed language. And I just like, no, that's just not real. No, that's just a load of BS, in my humble opinion. Leah Lotus, hi Leah, lovely to see you. Leah as well. Leah, women wouldn't start wars to begin with. Absolutely not. Excuse me, we'd make each other cups of tea, sit with our feet up, with our knitting and crochet, and talk about it. That's, yeah. Why have you gone to Lost Missionary? I've no idea, Scott. No idea. No idea. Right, I'm going to scroll back up the comments here and see what I have missed before I read that other article. Right, here we go. I found where I was. Para to normal. Farage will be saying they came in boats and now they are coming from the sky. Yeah, he will. He absolutely will. There is a massive cloud of ethyl alcohol 6,500 light years away. It contains enough alcohol to make 400 trillion pints. Right. That's me, Mithril. My name suddenly changed back. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this because it's not me. I don't know what I'm doing and I haven't touched anything. So, okay. In methane emissions, thank you, Chris C, for popping that link on there. Definitely something to have a look at. YouTube playing. Yeah, YouTube's been playing for a couple of days. Sorry, Paranormal and Mithril, I didn't realise it was the same name. I wonder if the one in, one out and shake it all about policy will work for the aliens. You know, I think it'll be exciting, but I'm not that woman that's going to go and stand on the building with the sign saying, take me home, and then the building gets zapped. I shall be cautious. I shall be very, very cautious. Chris C, don't tell the Germans. I wonder if the one in, one out, oh, yeah, read that. I was thinking more along the lines of not telling the Irish and the Scottish. Oktoberfest. I don't know how those women carry those, I mean, massive flagons of beer. Because I was in, what's it, begins with an M. I always just goes out of my head. Munich. I was in Munich, and I don't drink beer, but we went to one of those places. It wasn't Oktoberfest, but they still carry those beers, and I don't know how they do it. I really don't. Amazing strength. Bierwurst and Fräulein, absolutely. I don't decry anyone's experience, but I think it's just unexplained physics as yet. I think I've read that one already. A lot of epic drunks. And some umpire bands, absolutely. And Kirsty, when I was in Austria, it was so funny. I was in Innsbruck, and we went to a restaurant. Oh, it was amazing. And they gave us shots afterwards, shots, whatever they're called, of, oh my goodness, my brain today. And then I walked through to the toilet, and there was an umpire band, and they were doing the Langarm. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. And the short trousers with the suspenders. My mum bought me a pair for a joke. Mum is very German sense of humour. I actually, on the other side of my office, I bought them in Austria, little teddies. One's a little girl and one's a little boy dressed in the lederhosen. Judged on our own merits. If aliens come here, they would be probably curious. I think so too. It's always the women and children who pay the biggest price in war, absolutely. Right. Oh, it's done it again. YouTube's playing up, it is. Zhao says, I think we should be open-minded to everything, but not fall into zealotry. Just judge the results. If it happens, there is a reason. Yeah. I'd rather aliens than, a nuclear war, to be honest. I think that, like I said, the vast majority of sci-fi movies, the aliens are bad because if they were good, it wouldn't make for good movies, would it? Aliens have landed, I'll get the kettle on. Well, didn't the NASA and the Pentagon release a whole load of UFO files? Now, UFO doesn't mean they're alien, it's unidentified flying object. So it doesn't mean that they are an alien from outer space. But I watch a lot of channels, what's it called? Mystery Archives. I think he did one on those aliens that landed in Wales years ago in the 70s. There's been so many things like that have been, recorded. It's like the indigo children phenomena from a few years ago, basically just upper middle class parents pretending Sebastian and Ophelia are special. Yeah. YouTube likes to do this sometimes. Yeah, it's having a wobble. It certainly is. German women are made from robust stuff. They definitely are. Munich, yes, that's it. Schnapps, that's it. Scotch schnapps, yes. Not Jaeger, no. Oh, no. no, that not my drink. Schnapps is brilliant, except I won't touch it anymore. I had a very, very bad episode with peach schnapps once, and I won't touch tequila anymore either. It's a good way to see divinity. It's definitely a good way to call God down the big white telephone. Right. UAPs nowadays, not UFOs. UAPs on unidentified. What's that? Unidentified air patrols. What does UAP stand for, Mithril? Unidentified aerial phenomenon. Okay, I'm behind the times, obviously. Jägermeister will remain liquid even at minus 18 degrees. Wow. Wow, because I know vodka you put into the freezer, don't you? I don't mind decent vodka, like really good vodka. My mentor, her husband is Polish, Derek, and he would always have fabulous vodka in the, proper Polish vodka in the freezer, and we would drink that, and it was amazing. But yeah, I'm not a fan of Jägermeister, definitely not. Oh, no. So, we've talked about aliens. What was the other one that I've got here? Oh, this has gone funny now. So, horror movies. I didn't watch a horror movie last night. I actually watched, well, yesterday I wasn't feeling that great. I was a bit meh. I was feeling very overwhelmed. I'd done the live stream on Tuesday, and then I had a tutorial straight after, and I was just so overwhelmed with everything in the tutorial. It was the same tutorial that I'd done on Saturday, but with a different tutor, so a lot of different information, and I was just like, I don't know how I'm going to get my essay in on time. This is notebooks, more notebooks. And I just feel so overwhelmed with the whole lot. I'm wondering to myself, why did I decide to do this at my age? So, yeah, I watched Osiris yesterday, which was really good. So I do recommend that. And then I also watched one called Breaking Infinity, which is on the movie channel on YouTube. It's free to watch. It's a British movie. It's really good. Lots of twists and turns. You don't know what's going on until sort of almost at the end. Worth watching. Well acted. Pretty good effects as well. So, yeah, give it a watch if you can. It's free to watch on YouTube. So, Breaking Infinity is its name. I don't think there's anybody massively famous in it. I couldn't. Oh no, what's happened here? I couldn't get the stuff up because internet was being stupid. Vodka is basically a drinkable form of paint stripper. Crazy potato juice is what we used to call it. Jow. Love horror movies, but slashers make me sleep or laugh. They are comedies for me, but a good psychological horror movie is excellent. I like found footage horror. That's my favourite genre. I know it sounds daft, but I do enjoy that. Not found a vodka that's been pleasant. It's just spirit. Whiskey. I like whiskey as well. Talked about aliens, and then we went on to alcohol. Yes, we did, because, maybe that's why the aliens are coming to sample some of our alcohol. The mix of handles and names is weird. I actually changed my handle from the One Goth over to the Witchy Goth deliberately. The only reason I know it stayed liquid in the freezer is because my dad stored it in there. Yeah, I like I say, I'm not a fan of Jägermeister. It's the smell of it. It's like tequila. The smell of it just doesn't. I was in a Hell's Angels club thing, and we were just drinking tequila shots, and it was awful. I was with my partner at the time. This is many years ago, and we were both over the toilet at the same time. And I remember waking up on the floor because obviously the bed was moving far too much, so the floor felt like a safer option, and I had the duvet over me and he was lying on the bed underneath the fitted sheet. So, and it was summer, so that wasn't too bad. But I was living in Fauna Valley in Midrand at the time, and just, yeah, that's why I don't do tequila anymore. The smell just puts me off. It's like I won't do Jack Daniels or Jim Beam either. I don't like sour mash. It just, the taste, the smell, it just reminds me too much of tequila and schnapps. My drink is Southern Comfort, and I drink it neat with a few ice blocks in it, and that's my drink. I don't drink it with a mix. And then mead. I love my mead. And the mead that I will recommend to everybody, if you've got a pen and paper handy, if somebody can maybe pop the website, there is the Lancashire Mead Company. They are absolutely brilliant. I have known the brewer for years. He makes it all himself. It's all with the proper procedures, proper decent ingredients. Absolutely fantastic. They're all Viking flavour meads. The one that is my favourite is Viking's Blood, and it is absolutely divine. It's got this spicy tang to it, and I can drink that whole bottle. It's only a like 700ml bottle, so it's not, or 750ml bottle, and the bottle's really nice. They're square. I always take mine back when I go to them because they can, reuse them, but you can make nice lamps out of them, I would imagine, for the garden if you have some. The Joy of Correspondence Study, always the Assignment Guild. Absolutely, Kirsty. Absolutely. Gin, the Devil's Drink. Yeah, my sister drinks gin. I'm not a fan of gin. I drank a strange raspberry vodka in Poland. I was reasonably sober, but my legs were extremely drunk. Very odd experience. Yeah. Lose the feeling in your legs. The camera shake in found footage always makes me feel nauseous. Yeah. Although the later found footage films tend to be a little bit more steady. Blair Witch did my head in when it first came out, but there have been quite a lot of newer ones that have come out that are a bit more steady. Lancashire Mead Company, thank you so much for putting that up for me, Chris. Go and have a look at their website if you get a chance. They really do some amazing meads. I think Viking's Blood is one of the most expensive ones. I think the others are a bit cheaper, but all of them, I can recommend each and every single one. They always go up to Thornborough Henge, and they have their tent, and they have those little taster cups, and they have all the mead there. I'll try that one. They always know I'm going to take the Viking Blood, because I tell them before I go, make sure you keep 2 bottles of Viking's Blood for me. Yeah, but they do ship it out. It comes in fantastic packaging as well. So, and if you do order it, put a little note on there, say that I recommended you, to them, because, they know that I always give them a plug, because I just love their mead so much. And out of all the mead that I've ever drunk in my life, that is the best. It really, really is. They have won awards. Beer and some of the Portuguese sweet liqueurs for me. Bitter almonds is my favourite. It's done its thing again. Hooray, Lancashire's best. Have you had that, Mithril? The Rookery in Scotland make a tasty mead too. I've not tried that. Here we are talking about alcohol. An odd gin and tonic is nice, but has to be Gordon's with Schweppes, a slice of lemon and plenty of ice. Yeah, my sister likes the pink gins and the flavoured ones with fruit in and stuff. Yeah. I used to love wine. I used to love red wine, a good Merlot, or, a Cab Sauv. I used to absolutely love them, but I can't drink red wine anymore, and white wine has started doing the same thing to me now. If I drink a white wine, it has to be a dry white, like a Pinot Grigio or a Chardonnay. But, yeah, stomach, acid reflux, it's just not worth it. Ciao. Sorry, to me, gin is the sweat of a troll under the bridge. Richard Hammond and James May on YouTube. Oh, it's done the jumpy thing again. Doing their gins. The process is fascinating. Did anybody see what's his face? Jeremy. I nearly swore then. What's his name? Born in Doncaster. He was part of the team of James May and Richard Hammond, and yeah, him moaning about Zach Polanski's teeth and saying he needs to get them fixed. Meanwhile, have a look at his teeth. Have a look at his teeth. Whiskey and cola, Shrek juice. Now, if I drink whiskey, it's a good whiskey like a Glenmorangie, or my dad's favourite was Glenmorangie with just a little drop of water and maybe one ice cube. But just, I like the taste of the peat and the oak and the, you know, it's just got a taste in it. And that burn. Red wine only, South Portuguese with a meal. It's sweet and heavy. Yes, it is. I prefer the dry stuff, though. That was my thing, was dry wine. Yes, your name came up. It's doing that to everybody by the Jeremy Clarkson. That's it. Thank you, Kirsty. You grew up in Wineland. Ah, okay. Yeah, they are. The names are going wonky and weird and strange. So can't beat a single malt. Yeah, I'm not into blends. I'm really not into blends. You know, and sorry, but Irish whiskey, Jameson's and the like, it just doesn't do it. It's not the same. If I'm going to drink whiskey, it has to be Scottish. Tontin whiskey is my thing, aged in sherry casks and 55%. It's a sipping whiskey. Sounds good. Sounds very, that's what I like, to sip whiskey. I sip Southern Comfort. I don't glug it. My glass will last me for a while, you know, but I'm not drinking at the moment because a friend's coming round tomorrow and she said, oh, I'll bring a bottle of alcohol. I'm like, no, bring ice cream instead, because I've had such bad stomach this past week. Oh, yesterday my stomach, it was like rock, not constipation. It was just like, yeah, it was horrible. So I've not been eating much. I've been having like toast and soup and yogurt. But yeah, I sip my Southern Comfort. So my friend is bringing ice cream instead, which makes me happy. So we will watch a movie and eat ice cream. So this article, I'm just going to do this one quickly and then I'm going to head off. It's from The Guardian. It is dated Tuesday the 21st, and it's Priya Elan who's the writer. It's like they've erupted out of someone's subconscious, how horror came to possess modern cinemas. And I agree, when you look at horror of old and what it's like now, it's absolutely terrifying. Excuse me. You prefer brandy or Calvados, and even then very rarely. My sister used to drink brandy and Coke, but she would get those red rosacea or whatever it's called, rosacea on her cheeks from it, so she stopped drinking brandy, and gin doesn't do that to her. Red wine does that to me. Red in the face. Dalwhinnie's Winter's Gold Whiskey. I don't know, I never got on with Dalwhinnie. I don't know. It's just, you know, it's different tastes, isn't it? I think but then if we all had the same taste, the world would be a boring place. The rough and ready genre's current box office boom shouldn't surprise us, say filmmakers and experts. Well, it is October. The biggest jump scare film the industry has had in 2025, the return of horror as a main player at the UK box office. As a genre, it has impressively outperformed previous years, a 22% year-on-year increase for the UK and Irish box office. nearly 84 million in 2025, compared with nearly 70 million in 24. Last year, no horror film reached 10 million at the UK or Irish box office. This year, 5 films have, says Charles Gant, box office editor of Screen International. The big hit of this year: Weapons, 11.4 million, Sinners, 16.2 million, The Conjuring: Last Rites. Oh, I so want to see that. I just don't get to the cinema. People. Too many people. That's 14.98 million, and 28 years later, 15.54 million. Another one that I would love to see. Have all hung about the multiplexes and in public consciousness, although much of the industry commentary focuses on the singular brilliance of Zach Cregger's Weapons and Ryan Coogler's postmodern epic Sinners. Their successes indicate something is shifting between audiences and the genre. I've heard people say, even if you don't like horror, this is a film you need to see, says Laura Wilson, head of acquisition at distributor Altitude Films. Like Weapons and Sinners play with the genre and structure to create something completely different, and that speaks to an audience in a different way. But beyond artistic merit, the consistent popularity of spooky films this year suggests they are giving cinema goers something that's much needed: catharsis. Right now, there's a lot of anger, fear, and division that's being reflected in cinema, says Mike Monser, host of the Evolution of Horror podcast. Horror films are great at playing into people's anxieties while at the same time exaggerating them, so you forget about your day-to-day anxieties and focus on the monster on the screen, says Christopher Frayling, author of Vampire Cinema and Frankenstein: The First 200 Years. Against a real-world news cycle of Gaza, ICE raids, and the rise of the far right and climate catastrophe, witches, zombies, and the vengeful spirits resonate a bit differently with filmgoers. I read somewhere that the success of vampire movies is linked to economically depressed times, says Lola Kirk, one of the stars of Sinners. It's the idea that capitalism sucks the life out of people. I like that. It does. Capitalism does suck the life out of people. I see you're all still blooming talking about alcohol. Blooming bunch of alkies in the chat. Yeah, I'm still live, Billy, still live, going on for a little bit longer, busy reading about horror movies, but everybody in the chat's talking about alcohol, so I'll just go on about horror movies. Since the early days of cinema, social unrest has influenced the genre. Frayling points to the boom of German Expressionism after the First World War and the chaotic atmosphere of the early Weimar Republic, with films such as The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and Nosferatu. I love Nosferatu. And the movie Nosferatu, the nod it gives to the original Nosferatu with the shadow and the sort of creeping shadow at the back. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. He's a brilliant actor. He is an absolutely brilliant actor. What's his name? Can't think of his blooming name now. He played Pennywise in It, and I can't think of his name. Can't think of his name. Can somebody let me know what his name is? He's got a brother. They're twins, aren't they? I think their whole family acts, but he's just such a good actor. I wish I could remember people's names. Menopause brain. Nosferatu Spiritum aus die Nacht. Tim Curry. No, not Tim Curry, the new one. Murnau. Not Mads Mikkelsen. It's not Mads Mikkelsen. No. Skarsgård, that's it. Thank you, Kirsty. Skarsgård. Yeah. Alexander Skarsgård. Yeah. That's him. I think he's really cute as well. Did you see the new Crow? There's been a lot of people saying, no, there will never be another Brandon Lee. But I really enjoyed the new Crow movie. I did. Just came from the bin. Max Schreck rocks, definitely. Murnau was the director. Okay. Tim Curry was better. I think it's the when you look at the two different sort of movies for the time. That's something else that's going on at the moment as well. There's a big hoo-ha about the It film, where apparently a lot of people are really upset because of the scenes in it, with Beverly and the boys. And she was abused, wasn't she, by her father? But he wrote it because those sort of things happen. And I'll never, ever, ever stop reading Stephen King. Never. I absolutely love his books. Brandon Lee is the Crow. He is Kirsty. Definitely. Definitely. Tim Curry was, you know, when his Pennywise was very different to Skarsgård's Pennywise. Oh, the soundtrack to The Crow is brilliant. The soundtrack to The Crow is absolutely amazing. I loved Tim Curry as... oh my goodness, another name that's gone out of my head. Rocky. Rocky? No, he wasn't Rocky, was he? Who was he? What character did he play in Rocky Horror Picture Show? I can't remember, but I absolutely loved that movie. Saw both It, and I still like the book better. But each movie has its one perks, and a movie is a movie. Yeah, although the first It wasn't really a movie, was it? It was made as a series for TV, and the new movie is slightly different. Dr. Frankenfurter, thank you. Thank you. Couldn't remember the blooming name. I've seen that movie so many times. I love going to the cinema to watch it and getting all dressed up. Absolutely brilliant. And then standing up and doing the time warp. Absolutely love it. We had a karaoke thing a few weeks ago in midsummer at the forest thing that I go to, and I sang Time Warp. I had to. So since the days of unrest, yes, I've read that. Classic example is, Frankenstein and a symphony of horror followed by the 1930s Depression and Universal Studios' Frankenstein and the Wolfman. The classic example is Dracula. You get this invasion of Britain by someone from Eastern Europe who then causes this infection that gets spread in all sorts of ways and threatens the Anglo-Saxon heroes, says Frayling. So it reflects a lot of anxieties around immigration. Never thought of it like that. But I would really, really, really love to go to the castle. I would really, really love to go. I'm going to link this article into the description box once I have gone, because it goes on. It's long. So, but my favourite, the horror movies that I watch over Halloween are Halloween, the original, John Carpenter. I just love, oh my goodness, my brain today. Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode is absolutely brilliant. The Thing, Kurt Russell. I do like the version of Halloween that was done by Rob Zombie. I do like that. I think it's a very different sort of look at Halloween, and Rob Zombie is quite, you know, his movies are quite dark. But I do not like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Never have. The original and the new one. Just never ever did it for me. The other ones that I like are the Scream movies because they're hilarious, and Nightmare on Elm Street. And I've got the box sets of both on DVD. Yeah, I'm a DVD person. It's like people say, oh, but download the music. No, I want the CD. I want the disc. I want the item. Which reminds me, next week I have got my new Kate Bush coming on vinyl, which I will show you all when it is when it arrives, because it's like a mint green coloured vinyl. And then I have my Susie and the Banshee CD special limited edition T-shirt and pin arriving on the 31st, but I'll be away that weekend, so I'll show it to you when I'm back. And then I have my new Adam Ant vinyl arriving as well, which is one white vinyl. It's a double album. It's one white vinyl and one red vinyl. So I'm really excited. And I'm going to see Adam Ant on the 23rd of November at Sheffield City Hall. So I can't wait for that. I'm really looking forward to it. Final Destination films. Yeah, they're a good laugh. Even the lighting technician, aka me, did the time warp dance in the lighting box. Got some weird looks from the follow spot operator. Brilliant, Chris. Werner Herzog with the one with Klaus Kinski. Monster Mash. Do the mash. Do the monster mash. Fear of the Unknown, and it's different. Yeah. So, yeah, so much chat here going on about Night of the Demon for me because my late dad taught me to love M.R. James. He is very good. He is very good. The movies are quite strange, though. What was the one? Room 13? I think I watched recently. But I knew what was going on. I'd never read the books. I'd never, I didn't know his work until very, very recently. A friend of mine got me into him. But I knew what was happening because of the age of the film, I guess. But yeah, those old-fashioned horror movies. And ghost stories in haunted houses. I love those as well. I do love ghost stories in haunted houses. I think they're really good. I would love to move into a haunted house, a proper haunted house one day where I've got like the White Lady and the chains. And who remembers the Ghosts of Motley Hall back in the 70s? I used to love that program. They had the White Lady and the guy with the chains, and that was one of my favorite. You first read James when you were about 10, Naughty Dad. I think I started with one of the Dean Koontz books, not Whispers, the one that was after Whispers, and I can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, he was another one that the authors that I've read loads of his books. I wasn't into zombie films until the remake of Dawn of the Dead, or whatever the time of day it was called. I liked Night of the Living Dead, Brains, yeah. Lovecraft, yeah, also brilliant, Lovecraft. I think Walking Dead, for me, with the zombies, that really freaked me out. The first season really, really freaked me out. And then it went on, and it was like, okay, it didn't freak me out as much. But that very first season really, really did scare me a lot. And it takes a lot to scare me in a horror movie. It really, really does. It takes a huge amount of, because I'm sort of ready for it. The other day, I watched one, I can't remember what it was called now. I did talk about it in one of my live streams. And there was a jump scare in there that did surprise me. And I shouldn't have been surprised because, James Herbert books. Oh, yes. I have my James Herbert collection somewhere. All my horror books are over here. You see, all my horror books are over there. Fog, Fluke, Rats, all of those, yeah. Magic Cottage was one of my favourites. Dawn of the Walking Thickheads. Reform. Walking Dead did become a soap opera. I haven't seen the final season because I don't have access to it. Fright Night, yeah. Hammer House of Horror. Anybody used to watch those on a Friday night? Joe only liked the first Walking Dead, first 2 seasons. After that, just left it there. Yeah, after they killed Karloff, absolutely. I thought the same thing. It was just not the same. And when, of course, Rick disappeared, yeah, it wasn't the same. Right, guys, I am going to head off because I want something to eat now. And my cats, they can't figure out. I've got a cat flap on the door, but it's just a hole. It's got a slidey thing that I put in at night so they can't get out. But this is an inside door and there's an outside door. So because of the wind today and the breeze coming through, I cut an old towel in 2 and I've taped it over the top on both sides. They can't figure it out. I keep having to show them. It moves. It moves. They think it's locked. They think they can't get through it. So I keep having to lift it up. They'll get used to it. I know they will. Right, so I need to go and see if I can get them in, if the ones that are out. Thank you so much for the for joining me this evening, guys. I really do appreciate it. I feel bad that I didn't realise Politics Social was live. Otherwise, I would have done 5 p.m. instead of 6 p.m. Yeah, I feed my cats before I eat, and then they sit and watch me. Jow, they sit and watch me and just beg. So I'm going to go. I will be back on Sunday at about 6 p.m. again, and I hope to see you then. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy tomorrow and the weekend, and blessed be. Mwah.